Welcome again. Okay.
Where you dey say you wan make dem brush all this area, say na the boundary.
Okay.
We go na the boundary.
Okay. Well, let we go see first the cassava. We say you plant, but this I think so. Let me can say land they really waste in Sierra Leone. Look at this area.
This is how when they get no more people there with the brush. Start to green. Yeah, na a good fertile land.
Okay.
Very fertile.
For the fertile. So this is what we call virgin land. This is virgin land. So you have to do after brush. You have to do stumping if you want to plant here.
Yes.
So without stumping, you what will happen if you don't stump?
There are sometimes you don't do stumping.
You just plant.
Clearing.
Just clearing.
Yes. Like there are others they brush. They do their broadcasting. This
Okay.
light variety.
Light variety.
We have some seedlings that are very light.
Okay.
Like the growing of crop, like corn.
Okay. So well, honestly, this area is a really thick bush. Really thick bush. Really thick bush. So why don't you plant here? Why you prefer to go and plant the cassava down there?
During the rainy season, we do plant on the land.
The land.
Yes.
Okay.
Then during the dry season, we go on the body.
The muddy. So, but in this area, if you have sufficient water, or if you have people to water, you will continuous planting here. Dry season and rainy season.
No, we cannot plant here during the dry season.
Oh.
So we have to get the
water. Oh.
The distance is too far.
It's too far. What about if you dig well?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. To dig it's very difficult.
You cannot dig here a well. Let me say a single well to do your watering.
Your watering.
That well is not enough.
Okay.
You know, during the dry season, wells have duration.
So this is part of the land that we plan to develop the animal center.
Yeah, this is the land.
Well, this land is very vast.
This is the land.
This will take us maybe
both the left and the right.
Wow.
Both the left and the right.
So what? If we are going to use the left part of this land to do which one? We are going to use it for the animal.
We use the left for the animal.
So what are we going to do with the right?
The right now, we use the right to plant cassava.
So but you cannot plant rice here.
You can even plant rice here, but the light variety. You have the rock tree. You have what we call buttercup.
Buttercup.
Yes, locally called buttercup.
But they are all 6 months.
Also, what we call nerica.
They are all 6 months rice or 3 months.
They are 3 months rice.
3 months rice.
Yes, we used to call them the light variety.
Light variety.
We use the word light variety.
Why they are called light variety? Because they are easy to plant or what?
They produce very early at an early age.
But they are very simple to plant.
Very simple, very simple.
Okay. Well, Sierra Leone, we really have vast land, vast uncultivated land.
And if only chance that permitted me, and there was finance in the area where I wanted to also
plant the cassava. Okay. Okay. Okay, so this is the cassava farm.
Now we are going there.
We are going there. But this area is not swampy area.
This swampy area.
So during the rainy season, this area is flooded with water.
Yes. And when it floods, that will be the time when you harvest the cassava.
The cassava.
Yes. And this the stems now will take them to the dry land.
So are you going to harvest the cassava this year or next year?
The one I have planted?
Yes.
No, it's next year.
Next year.
Yes.
Okay, but the water will not affect it.
Will not affect it.
Okay. Okay. I think we are still far from the cassava farm.
No, we are not too far.
Far from the cassava farm. Okay. So what about in terms of security? What security do you put in place?
Well, locally here we do not secure.
they don't secure. So people can just come and harvest.
Well, there are sometimes after you have planted,
Uh-huh.
you go to the authorities, you give them money to announce that you planted something, you planted your crop in certain area, you don't want to see any individual there. If you discover any individual, that person will be the guide of that.
So what if in the case you don't discover the one who is responsible for stealing your plantation?
Well, I think you just have to leave everything.
So what about in the case that you want to do large scale farming? What security you think you put in place? Because considering in your house, the distance from your house to this cassava farm is very far.
Mm-hmm.
What about maybe during the night? Someone come and harvest your cassava.
Well, in our own locality, sometimes people do fear because there are others when you go to harvest their plantations, sometimes they go to the sorcerers and they go to swa. So
So,
that has made many of the people to fear to
because
have
of
faith.
that traditional
Yes,
belief.
yes. You see, so as you can see now, my
Yeah, cassava. Cassava farm.
this is from this point now on to that point
That point.
that
So how many months is this cassava?
this is 6 months.
6 months.
6 months.
But
By the by
the soil is very dry. Do you?
Nothing will happen with this again because it is having now roots.
Roots.
And you know the cassava now when it produces roots, it contains some amount of water.
Water.
And that water sustains the plant.
Okay. So this is 6 months or 1 year cassava. Which one is this?
This one is 1 month. Sorry, 1 year. Cassava.
1 year cassava.
1 year.
1 year cassava.
It is ready now for harvest.
So if you harvest the cassava before 1 year, you will not have
it will not produce good yield.
Good yield.
Yes.
So you have to wait for 1 year.
1 year. So let it become more mature.
More mature. So but you sometimes harvest the leaves. How frequent do you harvest the leaves?
No, well, it's left to the owner. It's left with the owner. Because there are sometimes others, they do not harvest the leaves.
They leave it for complete 1 year.
1 year, yes.
But what about in the case that you want to harvest it? Maybe you want to use it for another animal like goat, sheep.
You can harvest it.
It will not affect the plant.
It will not. It will not.
Oh.
But the only thing you will not cut the head.
The head.
You should not cut the head.
Okay. So okay, you only cut the branches, these leaves, and it will grow again.
Again, yes.
So how many times within the year do you pluck the leaf?
Well, it's left with the way how the plant is growing. You see, because the more you remove the leaves, after removing these ones, the ones remaining at the top
will grow again.
Will develop. So the more the plants grow, so it produces leaves. Okay. You see, so it produce, and if you can look at this, just take this as an example, and okay, look at this again as an example. This one, most of the leaves have been removed. No leaf is removed from that one.
Okay.
So do you see now? So this one, and like as you can see these ones, now you see them, you say, oh, these ones will not survive. But when it rains, Mr. Jibril, when you come here now, you will surprise. And this one will never die again because they are having now roots. And these roots, they contain water. So and the water now supports this stem.
Okay. So but do you apply fertilizer?
No, we do not apply fertilizer
on this. So you just plant it, leave it like you what you plant. How do you plant it? You plant it with seeds or
no seed, the stem.
The stem.
So
this is the stem.
Yes. And if okay, let's come here. Okay. Look at this now.
Yeah.
Did you see this? This was the stem.
The stem.
You see, and this is the two stems that have germinated.
Okay.
And as you can see, well, this is our problem now. We are in sometimes others die because of this termite.
This stem or the termites.
Yes.
So termites do affect
Yes, they affect them.
okay, they eat the stem.
The stem.
Okay, okay.
They eat the stem. They go deep down to the roots.
Okay. So when you harvest cassava, what other thing do you process cassava in this? Do you process or you just harvest it and sell it?
Sometimes we do harvest and sell.
Sell. You don't process.
We don't have processing machines in our own localities.
Process like processed what like
The processing of gari.
gari,
You see, and here now we only process fufu.
fufu
Yeah.
with the cassava.
Yes,
You,
locally.
locally.
Yeah.
Okay, but you don't process. You just sell it.
I don't process.
But do cassava do well in this place?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, but if you have the opportunity, are you willing to produce gari with this cassava?
100%. If only I have the support. If only
Because
I have the
because
support.
cassava
And
do
that is my intention. Instead of doing all these gardenings, I prefer planting cassava.
processing gari.
Gari, yes.
Okay. Okay. So, but so what cassava do you think if you want to process gari? Do you think it's better to plant the 6 month or the 1 year cassava?
Well, in our own locality, if you say you plant the 6-month cassava, it will not produce good yield. It will not produce good yield depending on the soil we have here. The soil we have here for the cassavas is for 1 year cassava.
1 year. So
yes.
6 month cassava will not do well
yes.
in this locality.
Because here we do not have gravels. Like in areas where we have those gravels, when you plant the 6-month cassava, it will grow well.
Do well. So if you want to process gari, you have to plant 1 year cassava.
Yes.
So plant of the cassava should be a continuous process so that there will not be a gap in terms of cassava production.
Yes. Like let me say now, I have planted for this year. Before I harvest, I should prepare another farm
to process.
yes.
So when do you normally plant cassava?
Which
month is suited to plant cassava in this?
Early September.
Early September.
Early September.
Why September?
Because during that time now we are looking at the dew. The dew. You see, and it is the dew that will assist the plant. Because when you say June, July, August, when it rains, the cassava now, it absorbs water. When the stem now, when it absorbs enough water, it will die.
Okay, too much of water will kill the
stem.
Okay.
Yes, it will die. Okay. It does not need plenty of water.
So if you start September, what month do you stop to plant cassava? September, October, November, continue planting.
November.
You should stop to plant cassava by November. Why?
Well, because that will be the time you look at the dew. Now it is not enough to supply water. To the stem.
So if you plant cassava after November, it will die.
Some will die. Some will die.
Some will die.
Some will die.
So you will not get the yield.
Through the cause of these termites. That is one of the contributing factors. Then the heat of the sun.
So do you think there is a good market for cassava in terms of gari processing in this district?
Yes.
So if you have the support.
Yeah.
So what kind of support, like if you want to process cassava, what kind of support will you need? Let me say gari. Now you have the land to plant cassava. The vast land to plant cassava. You have the experience to plant. So if you want to process gari, what type of assistance will you need?
The first assistance is finance. To get labors. Secondly, I need processing machine.
But do you know how to process the gari? You have idea?
Well, I don't.
But you willing to learn?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm ready to learn.
Okay, sir. Well, thank you very much. This area is not bad, but my concern is that in terms of security, if someone want to invest,
if only I am doing the commercial farming, if I'm doing the commercial farming, I need security.
I need security.
Yes.
Okay. but you have the land. There is no problem with land in terms of planting
The
cassava.
land has no problem.
Okay.
The land has no problem.
So you have access to the land.
Yes.
Okay, well, that is good. That is good. That is good. That is good. Thank you very much. What I don't think you have to you are empty to show us again in this area. So make your request to the viewers.
Well, if only people will help me, I need support. I need financial support for labor. Then I need processing machine for me to process garri. And especially in our locality during the rainy season, people do suffer, undergo constraints. So if I produce garri within my locality, I'll make good sales.
Okay.
So I need those assistance.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Conte. Thank you very much for the insightful or the helpful comment. Viewers, please, as you hear from Mr. Conte, just like, comments, or questions, he will answer you. Okay, thank you very much.